Hey everyone, it's George from Men's Corner. Today I'd like to talk to you about my last book called Reclaiming Courage. Awaken the sleeping lion within you and live out your purpose as a man. I always like long titles. So I would like to begin by reading to you something from the preface. It begins like that. This is a book for the timid. It is written with one thing in mind: to empower and liberate men who are too quiet, too fearful, and too nice for their own good. If you have a hard time drawing boundaries with others, this book is for you. If you have a problem saying no to others, this book is for you. If you're a man who does not feel respected by others, this book is for you. If you're a man who has always steered clear from acting out anything aggressive, competitive or forceful, be it in sports, business, or the complex labyrinth of family dynamics, this book is for you. If you're a man who feels doomed to endlessly agree to everything that the world demands of you, but are beginning to resent yourself in the process, this book is for you. If you're the man who wants to feel solid, strong, in a word, whole, then on the inside, then this book is for you. Time to reclaim your courage. Or, if you're like me, time to actually discover that you had some. So that's the preface of the book. And I would like to just walk you a little bit through it, just to give you a brief outline. Because the reason why I'm doing this, and it's just because I really believe in this book. Unlike the other two, which I believe that people need to go through in order to get here, not through my book, but through the concept that I'm outlining. They're old concepts. They've been around for centuries. I haven't written anything new. It's just I'm putting together something that's old and existing in order to help you go through this inner journey of becoming strong on the inside. Strong, I mean whole, all the parts together. And in the first book, if you remember, I'm addressing the need for a man to deal with his father wound. And then the second book, I'm addressing the need for a man to reclaim his inner boy. Only then should you go and reclaim anything courageous, anything strong. First you need the inner boy. So that's just a quick disclaimer. And so the chapters, let me just read to you the names of the chapters. Chapter 1 I've called The Need for Courage. Because there's a need for courage in the world. And anything good that we enjoy today is because good men have had courage to bring it about, to resist evil. Chapter 2 is the lack of courage. We've all lost courage. We've all lost heart, in a way. Like John Eldridge would say, like I said in my second book, The Recovery of Innocence, there is a loss of heart. You will lose something growing up, and we need to get it back. Chapter 3 is called Why Do You Need Aggression? You need aggression in order to become fully yourself, because you're made to have an aggressive side, and if you ignore that, it doesn't just go away. You suppress it. You use a lot of aggressive energy to suppress it. So my question is, do you use aggression against yourself, or do you just let it be manifest from yourself and then channel it? How many men do you know like that? Not many. Most people who are in touch with their aggressive side are, very often not pleasant to be around. They can be harsh. Because they have that. They can't control it almost. It's hard to control. And most people who are nice, well, they just don't have it. So nice and good is very different. And a good man is how I believe we can all be, is someone who has it, who has all the sides of masculinity available to him. The inner boy, the inner warrior, everything, and he knows how to channel. He has integrated them all into its proper use. Redemption doesn't mean bury it. In the Bible, the old the parable of the talents. Oh, well, I guess I need to be a good man. I don't trust my master. I bury parts of myself. See, I'm good. I'm not doing anything wrong, am I? Of course you are. You have not allowed all of you to be redeemed and to be used for a higher purpose. Yeah, you think you're good? Not really. You're just fearful. So why do you need aggression? To become yourself and to to act out your purposes as a man. Chapter 4 is it's really good fun. I laughed so much and when I wrote it, because it's called the physical release of aggression. I believe every boy has grown up to have a physical side to him, and most of us get that taken away from us somehow, mostly by not being developed, or being bullied, or being, oh, you're not good at football, oh, you're not good at boxing, oh, look at you, well, maybe you're not, but there's a reason why. If you desire something and it's been taken away from you, you've just been underfathered. Maybe after you took that first punch at sparring with your little brother, whatever, then you were ashamed and you never went back. Or after you try and play football, you just looked at the other boys who were better than you, and you never went back. So there is a physical release of aggression that you need to get back, and it begins by maybe hitting a pillow. That's how it started with me. Just see, can I? Yes, it might look ridiculous to you, but there is a way to reclaim the physical side of man, and believe me, your body will be thankful to you. If anything else, if you don't take anything else away, by reclaiming some of your aggression, your body will get better. Trust me, because even the word depression, you're depressing something, but also because the body doesn't function well when things are depressed, suppressed inside of it. It's things fester inside, shall we say, emotional things, and they even manifest physically. Not just by your inability to act out your true self, but also how do you numb that self? Well, with me, a lot of things that I took in instead of express, got out. So food, drink, overeating, mainly overeating. In the later years, overeating, when I got rid of the other addictions. But when that line rose again, when that spirit makes you alive inside of you, you find that you don't need to eat so much. At least I did, and many people I know did. So that's just one example. Your body will come alive. And chapter 5, sound and fury coming alive. Then I talk a lot about depression, and I talk a lot about how you need to reclaim your aggression, not in a physical way anymore, because the physical is basically going back to the warrior part of you, little boy. So you need to go through a stage when you reclaim that physically. I use a lot of boxing pads with my friends and clients, but that's just, I mean, I don't want them to go and start doing that. I mean, most of them are respectful men in their 70s, 60s, 70s. Like, really? I want him to waste his time and go and join a boxing gym 5 times a week? No. I mean, if he wants to do a bit of that, it's perfect for health. It's a great workout. But it's not about that at all. That's totally up to the individual. It's about beginning somewhere, going back to that boy, but then growing up. How do you channel that in real life? There are many immature men who would physically want to pick fight with people, which is kind of ridiculous to watch. I mean, there are many good men. I keep talking about Ernest Hemingway or Theodore Roosevelt, or what's the name of the boxing writer, the guy who wrote it's just ridiculous in so many ways. Norman Mailer. I mean, it's just that undeveloped part that's not been integrated completely. It goes back to the physical. See, I'm a warrior, I can fight. You're like, man, you are a warrior, but not in these small battles. No, you were called for a higher purpose. You're not meant to stay a boy. So chapter 5 is about telling the truth, speaking, finding your roar as a lion, drawing boundaries with others. It's about integrating that aggression and saying, no, this is what I stand for, this is who I am. You cannot take this away from me. And I'm finishing with some questions like I did in the previous books, even though this book is a bit deeper, a lot deeper than the previous books. You can tell that's probably the biggest part of my journey, my personal journey so far, so I've put a lot more effort into this writing. There's questions, there are a few questions, and there's deep work, where I invite you to do deep work. But that's the outline of the book. And it begins with a quote from Churchill, from the Second World War, and where he talks about the enemies have asked for total war. Let us make sure they get it. What does that tell you? Courage, unwavering courage. He didn't go ask for fight. The free world didn't go ask to take Hitler head on back in the Second World War. he kept coming, and good men stood on the sidelines for way too long, if you ask me. But who wants another war? It's all happening even today. Who wants war? Most people don't. But then, when push came to shove, as they said, good men rose up and fought because of this. Today, in the West, we enjoy freedom. We enjoy, especially here in Great Britain, which I just love from the bottom of my heart. I can just sense the unbroken heritage of these people, that they've even been kind enough to open for others to enjoy, asking for very little, if you ask me. The unbroken heritage. Well, why was it unbroken? Because good men, every now and again, had to rise up and not allow it to be broken. Not allow others to come and just completely destroy it so that they can rebuild. In many ways, my own country, I can't say that about us. That's my home, that's my roots. Well, that's my roots. That's my origins, that's part of my makeup. That's the roots. But here is the fruits. Here is home for me. And I'm so privileged. So Churchill, courage. But Churchill said something very interesting. He was talking about the British people, his people, and he was saying, the courage and strength were there. I was just called upon to give the roar. So it's not this one person, in a way, who just empowered the people somehow. Did he brainwash people to follow him? Not at all. The courage and strength was there. It was all there all along. But he had to inspire it, bring it out. So I'm giving you the same message. Your courage and strength are there. You're not a coward. You're not a fearful, nice guy. And I know some of you will say, well, what's wrong with being nice? Well, nice and good are different. In fact, I put this translation in the book. Nice from, I think it was Old French and Latin mixed. Well, nice basically, the origin of the word means ignorant. You're nice. You don't know anything. You don't upset anyone. You just drift. You're just nice. You're a nice guy. But being good, you want to be good. You have a purpose to be good. And a part of being good is to oppose what's bad. Like in your family, when you have to discipline your children, when you have to negotiate things with your wife, you need to make sure that you use your strength in a constructive way to put boundaries against what's not good. And that's your job as a man. So a good man is intentionally good. He's not just nice because he can't help it. And I've been many ways that way myself. And yet my aggression would come in secret places, in dark places. Not in front of others when it had to come, but in the shadow. And that's not good. Don't want anything in the shadow. You want to be fully integrated, fully channeled outward man. And to just give you an outline, I'm just looking at the quote here. So, courage. The word courage actually comes from, the origin of it comes from cor. That's where the Spanish word corazón comes from. Heart, courage. So I go on to argue that to regain and reclaim your courage is in effect to stay true to your heart. Heart, core, heart, inner being. Not heart like that pump or emotion. No, is who you really are. If you want to reclaim your true self, if you want to serve God, if you will, because you can, love the Lord with all your heart, right? You don't have all your heart, good luck with that. We see so many men within the church, and I'm passionate about the church because I go to church, I belong to a church. I'm a man of deep faith, far from working it out perfectly, but I'm trying, and it's a wonderful journey. And it's that journey that led me, it's that faith that led me to this journey of reclamation of emotions. They're not different. It's just an expression of that for me. So I see so many good men, not just moral men, but actually good men with a higher purpose, spiritual purpose, who just suppress. They just grow up suppressing all the stuff that they see as bad. And the expression of these things may well be bad, but suppression and redemption are very different. The way of the world is indulgence. Indulge all that you feel. The way of the church very often is suppress all that you feel. So it's like, where do you go? And yet the way of true spirituality, the way of God, I would argue, is, Jesus. I've come to seek and save what was lost. Redeem it, take it out of darkness. May well be darkness. There are many parts of us that are in darkness, but have the courage. Don't bury your talent in the ground. That's suppression. That's the way of the church. Don't go and waste it like the prodigal son either, because that's the way of the world. That's like, yeah, right, good luck. You think that's going to make you happy? I've been there, trust me. Redeem it. Allow it to be redeemed, to be brought out from the darkness. And that's what I'm trying to do with this book. Bring back from the depths of your soul something that you don't like necessarily, some hidden force, in order for it to be redeemed. And you can do that. You can do that. If you want to talk to me about it, you can feel free to go on my website, trainingformen.co.uk. Book a free session. It won't cost you anything. I'll give you half an hour and I can walk you to some of these ways in which you can do that. Or just go on Amazon, pick up the book, Reclaiming Courage. And then, if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks for your time today, man. Thank you.